Hello everybody, happy holidays. This is Lila in Hawaii. I'm making a bunch of these little books that I love to make. They have a perfect binding, and they made it. This particular one I'm making is, well, it's called Genova. It's an Italian book, and I wanted to make some more pages for it. I put a lot of my own paintings in it. Let me tip this out if I can. So I put a lot of my own paintings, Italian paintings like that. Here's another one here, and then picture of somewhere in Italy, and one more of my paintings. Another one there I'm working on. Oh, there's another one. So when I do these books, I like to, on the blank pages, I want to do something, and maybe something that I have stitched or collaged. So I'll show you one of the ideas I came up with. Well, I'll show you real quick. So this is one of the slow stitched collages that I could put in here. Wouldn't put on that page probably. I'd put on some different page. Where would I put it? Well, I could put it there. So I'll show you how it is. See the slow stitching here. It's one of the techniques I use sometimes, and I'll show you how I do that. It's a combination of gluing, collage, machine stitching, and hand stitching. Here's another one that I've done, and I'm going to put that in, on another page or something like that. So they're pages, and they are multi-layered, but they have a lot of slow stitching on them. So I'll show you, just give you a quick look at that. I won't show you the slow stitching exactly, because that takes a little time and I have to move somewhere else. The first thing I do, though, is I make a collage of fabric and paper and whatever. It's kind of, I've got a bag of sort of torn bits of fabric. So I make a collage and use a glue stick to glue all the pieces on. Nothing is stitched, they're just glued on like that. And then I take it to the sewing machine and start sewing. I won't talk too much while I'm sewing, but usually I sew sort of whimsically. I don't sew around the edges necessarily. I sew just to hold the pieces on, and then I sew back and forth, and if they're small pieces I need to make sure they're secure, and I just sew them. Sewing too slow. You have to wait till the glue stick dries though, otherwise it gums up your needle, I found. Okay, so right there. So once I've got everything pretty much, all the pieces pretty much stitched once, I'll just stop for a minute to show you. Okay, so I've sewn, I don't know if you can see there, but I've pretty much sewn the major pieces. Now I sewed this piece is underneath this, so that didn't need anything. This I should sew. So I'm going to start there. This word is a flap there. That was a stamp. I'm going to start sewing there. Okay, now I'm just going to go willy-nilly, as I call it. Just sort of try and secure everything that that looks. I don't run out of thread. Okay, for now. Okay, so stitched all the pieces, all the collage, and this is how the back of it looks. I'll make sure I'm in focus. Yeah, so you can probably see the stitching. So the next thing I'll do is I will cut those. I'll cut them to the size I think I need for the particular book I'm working on. And this is this particular book. Okay, so I've got, here's another one that I will sew around. I haven't done that yet. And a little bit of sheer ribbon over top of it. Okay, so this is the book I want a couple of pages for. So I think I showed you I've already done that page. So that's the size I want. So I find whereabouts on the one I just stitched where I think that would look. Would I like that end or would I like that end? And it wouldn't go on this page because I'm going to put this probably there. Goes better, doesn't it? There. Right there. And where is that? And then this one, maybe I'll put it there. That's one I've already done. I did that last night. So those two are done, but that's the size I want. Okay, so let me think here. Okay, so I've got an Italian map here, and the piece that I just sewed, since there's some brown and turquoise or aqua, I think that might be a good place for that. So I'm going to fold it to see where I need to cut it. I think it would be good. And the substrate is just old book pages. That's all it is. Okay, so I've figured out where I want that. So I'm going to cut that. And before I slow stitch it, I need to add something else that is sort of a little bit more Italian looking. Now I had this picture, but I think that's going to go somewhere else. I had this little sort of a sign thing. But I think what I'm going to do is go into I've got a little bag of things here, or it's actually an envelope of things here. So I'm going to look through those and just see if anything sort of strikes me. I've got that, that looks pretty good. And I've got this is mostly my own paintings. Paintings. Okay, let's see. I like using a stamp, an Italian stamp. I'm wondering if that would be a good thing to use. Why not? So I've put the stamp there, and then I'll go back to the sewing machine and I will stitch the stamp on. Yay. Okay, so stitch the stamp on, the collage that I just did, and that's going to look pretty good there. I'm probably going to have to trim it a little, but the next thing I do, which I'm not going to do on camera, is I take it to my workplace out on the lanai with my needles and threads, and I stitch. And I do primarily lots of running stitch on this one. On this one, I did chain stitch, and I did some stem stitch, running stitch. You can see on the back. See on the back. And it's easy to stitch through. Once it's dry and you've sewn it to a substrate like that, it's just easy to stitch. I actually like this kind of paper best. It's from a writing tablet, which is what I'll probably use more of. This is just book pages from an old book. And so next thing is take that and take it to the sewing machine. Oh, no, I've taken it to the sewing machine. Or I could sew around the side. I think it's going to be a little bit big. I'm just looking at that. Maybe a little bit too big. I don't want to cut it down too much, but I don't want too much overhang. Simply because if I'm stitching it, I may cut off some of the stitching that I want. So let's see. Seems to me that's kind of pretty. And then on this side, I've got another piece that I had made earlier, small piece, and I kind of think that would be good. Anyway, more later. This is Lila in Hawaii. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.